To prevent it from melting, a chainsaw chain must be oiled regularly. However, the centrifugal force throws off the oil and spreads it in the surrounding nature, and the lumberjack has to oil his chain regularly. Oil consumption amounts to roughly 3 liters of oil per day, and with 20,000 lumberjacks in France, that adds up to millions of liters of oil disappearing into nature. This rarely mentioned pollution is a real problem. As a lubricant that is completely lost during use, chainsaw oil has a direct impact on the environment. Oregon, the world's leading manufacturer of chains and guide bars for chainsaws, has sought to develop the ideal product, bringing together perfect lubrication, cutting performance, chain and bar longevity, and respect for our planet. Arborol, the new multi-performance lubricant for chainsaw chains. Arborol is a product made entirely of vegetable oils, which offers an excellent solution compared to mineral oils. Arborol is diluted in water, 1 part Arborol for 4 parts of water, in order to obtain a high-performance lubricant for your chainsaw. So, with just 1 liter of Arborol, you get 5 liters of lubricant for your chainsaw. It's easy to make the mixture, and I really don't worry about wear and tear over time. Arborol offers much better performance than a mineral oil in 2 ways. Greater stability of the viscosity when the temperature rises. Greater friction reduction. Of course, Arborol's qualities make it the ideal lubricant for meeting the requirements of forestry machines. A stable guide bar that stays straight for a long time really does save a lot of time and actually makes things significantly easier. In terms of sprocket protection, it definitely plays a part, given that the sprocket heats up much less, and a sprocket at the tip that heats up a lot less wears out less quickly. Replacing a mineral oil by vegetable compounds offers an excellent solution. Their toxicity is virtually nil, and they degrade naturally in the earth when broken down by microorganisms. Drop oil on the ground to pollute everything? No. When we're working in places like we are here, alongside a canal, we're requested to use organic products out of respect for nature. Especially since we sign a work proposal before starting on a site. We have to be sure to respect the environment. Rapidly biodegradable and non-toxic, it makes it possible to avoid all risk of polluting the soil, underground aquifers and waterways. There you can see the quality. In terms of cut quality, it's great. After use, the guide bar isn't hot and you can touch it with your hand, which makes it easier to tighten your chain. And for sharpening, you avoid wearing down files too quickly. I really am extremely pleased with this lubricant. In general, you rub the oil between your fingers to see how viscous it is, and here you can really see why you get hooked. It has this lubricating effect, and even with only 1 liter of product for 4 liters of water, it still lubricates very, very highly. The guide bar is cold and the chain is hardly loose. If it would have been running on a mineral oil, it would be very loose. You can feel when a chain runs smoothly on the guide bar and it's not being slowed down. Especially when you're felling poplar, which is a wood rich in fibre and water and which used to cause a lot of problems. I must admit that with Arborol my worries are over. We could break as many sprockets as we wanted. Stellite tips wouldn't last. Oh, with Arborol we have no more worries at all, and the chain always stays clean. Arborol is a high-performance lubricant. It doesn't form a paste over time. Less dirt builds up around the chain guard, it gums up less, it's easier to clean. Well, with the mineral oil I can work for 4 or 5 minutes, but with Arborol I go twice as far, sometimes even 3 times. And it gets much, much less hot. Is this a sprocket nose that bears a lot of load? Yes, it's for sculpting the wood. And the guide bar takes a real beating, because the chain runs very, very fast over the sprocket nose. That zone usually gets extremely hot. I'm really happy to have discovered Arborol. It doesn't stain clothes as badly. It has a more natural smell. It doesn't smell like burnt oil, so there's no odor of petroleum. Basically, it's just more natural. I haven't changed any of the settings on the oil pump, and it consumes exactly the same amount as before. There's no excess consumption with Arborol. I was curious during the tests. It's strange in the beginning because it's a much more liquid lubricant than the oils we had until now. But after using it for a quarter of an hour, my apprehension was completely gone. Arborol, an Oregon brand product.